Welcome to Carly Tackles, a raised stand for your dog bowls. The first step is to determine how tall your dog bowl stand needs to be. In order to do this, you need to measure your dog to the top of its shoulders and then subtract 6 inches. Tootsie's shoulders measure 26 inches high. When you subtract 6 inches, that brings our dog bowl stand to 20 inches tall. Not all dog bowls are the same size. We need to find the circumference, or the distance around the bowl, in order to determine how big a hole we need to make in our stand. We can use the circumference to find the diameter of the bowl. If you just measure the inside to the inside, you wouldn't account for the thickness of the material, but you'd get close enough. Once you know the diameter, you can just divide that by 2 and you come up with your radius, or you can use Google. We also need to know the total width of the bowl, including the lip. We want to make sure we don't cut out a hole that's too big and the bowl falls through it. I used a store-bought raised stand as a template to determine how much space needs to be in between the bowls and from the outside edge, and then I just modified it slightly. Using the bowl dimensions and the spacing, it gave us our total width and depth for our top piece. I will also be adding a 3/4 inch thick trim around the top. I'm using a table saw to cut the top down to size. You can also do the same thing with a circular saw. You can check out one of my videos on some gadgets that help you cut straight lines with a circular saw. On my top, I'm drawing out where the bowls will be placed on the board. I'm measuring in from the edges 1 1/4 inch because that was the spacing that was determined, and using a speed square, I'm drawing those lines all the way across. I also know where the edge of the bowl should be, and that's 8.5 inches plus that 1.25 inches, so I'm drawing that out on the piece as well. Now I'm finding the center of the box that I just drew, which is 4 1/4. You might be asking, well, isn't the radius 4 inches? And it is, but the box we drew accounts for the outside lip to lip, which is 8.5. We want to find the center of that, which will also be the center of the bowl that we'll cut out, and we'll use the 4-inch radius when cutting the hole out, and you'll see it when it gets drawn out here what that looks like. I measured 1 inch from the top and the bottom, and I'm now drawing those lines. That accounts for the padding we wanted there. Now I'm measuring to find the vertical center for the bowl. And you see me measure from both sides, the top and the bottom, and that's just to confirm that I really did find the center. If you happen to have an 8-inch hole saw, you can skip this step. But if you don't, I'm hitting the nail in the middle of the hole, and I will use that to draw my 4-inch radius. I couldn't find any string laying around the shop, but I did have this clamp that I adjusted to be 4 inches. So I just put that around my nail and using my pencil go in circles. It works pretty slick. If you don't have string, you should try this as an alternative method. In either case, you want to measure to make sure you did truly draw a 8-inch circle. If it all checks out good, you can remove the nail. If you have an 8-inch hole saw, you line up the drill bit to the center line that you drew and just start drilling. Now I only have a 6-inch, but I thought I would do it anyway just to show you how you could do it if you had an 8-inch hole saw. For the rest of us, we are going to drill a hole near the edge of the circle so we can insert a jigsaw blade and cut it out. I am using a 1-inch spade bit to do this. This is not near as easy as using a hole saw, but it does do the trick. Using a rotary tool with a sandpaper bit, I'm going to sand the insides of the circle. Now it's time to test out our fit. Place your bowls inside the holes and hopefully they don't fall through. I'm ripping a 2x4 piece of cedar into two 1.5-inch pieces. To determine the height of our legs, we're going to take our total stand height, which is 20 inches, minus our 3/4 inch thick top, which gives us 19.25 inch. Using my miter saw, I take our two pieces over and cut them into four 19.25 inch legs. Next, I'm cutting some support pieces that will go in between the legs. I calculated the length based on the total width and depth of the board minus 3 inches, which is 2 legs added together. I started by applying some glue to the support pieces and attaching them to the legs. I'm using my speed squares to make sure that my legs are standing straight up and down before applying the clamp. Sometimes when you're twisting a clamp or tightening the clamp, it can move your leg pieces left or right, so by using those speed squares it helps ensure that I am straight. And I repeat the same process for all of the support pieces. I am placing my middle support beam about 9 inches from the bottom of the one I just installed. Your placement may vary based off of your total stand's height. This is really close to center for me. I was trying to decide if I needed 3 support pieces between each leg. I cut enough to have 3 in between every leg, but I decided to install 2 and then I would check to see how the stand holds, and if I felt I needed another one, I could easily add it. Once you have your support pieces glued and clamped into place, it's important to let the glue dry. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to use a countersink drill bit and pre-drill some holes and then drive in screws. Now the support pieces are all at the same height, 9 inches, so there is a chance that you could try to drill a hole into a screw. What I recommend is on one side drill kind of high and go low, and on the other side drill low and go high, kind of at an angle. That way you won't hit each other. If you drill and drive in a screw one at a time, you can normally feel if you hit the screw with your drill bit on the other side. Just go slow and be careful, and if you hit something, kind of pull back and drill a different hole. You can use wood filler to fill the holes later. When I was first gluing the support pieces to the legs, I ran out of clamps, so I couldn't glue this last one in. So I'm doing it now. I start by placing some glue on the very top of my stand, trying to keep it centered, and then I kind of rub it in so it doesn't squeeze out too much. and then I place the top on it. Make sure your top is lined up with all of your corners. You might have to adjust one corner and then the other. Once you feel that you have it in a good place, go ahead and apply your clamps. I'm pre-drilling 4 holes, 1 in each corner, and I will drive in a screw to attach the top to the stand. I'm using DAP wood filler to cover all of my screws on the top and on the sides. After it's all dry, I sand it down using Ryobi's orbital sander and 150 grit sandpaper. I'm using some scrap pieces made out of maple that I had lying around. These are 1 3/4 inch wide and 3/4 inches thick. Once I have all my measurements taken, I will then take the piece over to my miter saw and I will adjust the bevel to cut at a 45-degree angle. I do a little sanding by hand before attaching the trim pieces to the stand. I apply some glue to the side of the top, as well as just a little bit down on the legs. I'm placing the trim board on the top in a way that I'll have a little lip. I don't want the trim to be absolutely flush with the top like I normally do. I do want to have a little lip, and this will hopefully catch some water or dog food and keep it on the stand instead of on the floor. Once you have all the pieces glued and clamped, I would let it dry before doing this next step. You can see that little lip that I made sure was on that trim board. I did have a little bit of glue squeeze out, so I'm using a chisel to clean that up. Stain and glue don't really get along, so try to clean up any squeeze out of glue you have if you plan on using stain. Using a brad nailer connected to my air compressor, I'm firing in some nails from the trim into the pieces. I am firing in a nail from the trim to the top, as well as trying to fire in a nail from the trim to the leg, so I have it attached in multiple places. And I will use wood filler and fill in these holes. I don't want to fire a bunch of nails that requires me to fill a bunch of holes, just enough to secure the trim. Here are some pictures of the almost finished project. All the holes have been filled and the whole thing has been sanded, and now it's ready to be stained or painted. I applied a black cherry stain with 3 coats of an exterior polyurethane, which will be better for waterproofing than interior. Thanks for watching Carly Tackles a raised stand for your dog bowls. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you'd like to see more videos similar to this, please subscribe to my channel, Carly Tackles DIY, Tools and Gadgets, Tips and Tricks. And make sure you hit that bell to receive notifications when I release new content.